Hey, what up, superstars? It's your boy Ibetonme with some more Destiny 2 content. Season 23, Season of the Wish, should be dubbed the Season of the Solar, because this season we've seen some of the best solar builds Destiny 2 has to offer. Now, I've brought you guys plenty of banger solar builds to help you guys go out there and take out the competition. I'm gonna leave those links down below so you guys could go watch those videos after you watch this one. So down in the comment section, let me know what you guys think about this build. What are some of the things you would change to it? Also, I definitely want to tell you guys, welcome to the channel. I appreciate the support. Now, this build is centered around the exotic gauntlet Ashen Wake, which fusion rifles gain increased throwing speed and explode on impact, and it also stuns champion. Also, final blows with fusion rifles grant grenade energy. So how it works, when you kill 4 enemies with the grenade, it automatically recharges the grenade energy. So if you get 3 kills, it gives you 3/4 of grenade energy. 2 kills get you halfway there. 1 kill get you half quarter there. This is great to doing damage to bosses and champions, and also great for clearing ads as well. Like I said, this is a Titan solar build. So let's go ahead and get into all the abilities, including the super, and then we'll get into the aspects and the fragment. And for the super, we're going with the Burning Maul, which to me is the best super for Solar Titan, because it's great at clearing ads, but then it does massive damage to bosses and champions. See, Burning Maul is going to spread scorch damage over time to all the enemies that you're hitting with this super, alright? Now the damage is going to increase and the target accumulate more scorch stacks. And when the target has enough scorch stacks applied to them, they're going to ignite. And when ignition happens, it's going to do a large solar explosion, which deal damage in the areas all around the targets, and it also stuns the unstoppable champions. Now, if you want to take your super to a whole nother level when it comes to the Burning Maul, here's a great trick that you can use to help increase the damage significantly. Right before you pop your super, switch over to the Progale Gaunlets, because it's going to modify your Burning Maul into a single high damage slam of your hammer that creates several cyclones of flame. And on your second slam, it's going to create another cyclone of flame. And like I said, that's just going to take your Burning Maul to a whole nother level and increase that damage. And then after you get through with your super, you can switch back to Ashen Wake. But our melee, we're going with the throwing hammer, because every time we pick up our throwing hammer, it fully recharges the hammer ability again. And if we hit a target with our throwing hammer, it cures us, so it instantly heals us and restores a set amount of our health and shield back to our character. So this is going to allow us to stay alive, which is very important in in-game activities, man. You definitely need something that's going to help cure you. Also, what's cool, whenever we get a punch kill with our melee, it's actually going to restart Radiant over and over again for 12 seconds. So Radiant is going to allow us to also generate our health and shields while the buff is active. So that's for 12 seconds. Like I said, this is a great strong solar build for you to stay alive. For our grenade, we're going with the fusion grenade, which is going to apply scorch and ignite target. And remember, our fusion grenade is paired with Ashen Wake, so it's just going to allow our fusion grenade to just do some ridiculous things that it normally wouldn't be able to do. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at our aspects. So with roaring flames, final blows with our solar abilities or ignitions is going to increase the damage of our solar abilities, and it stacks ×3. Also, this is going to increase the damage of our fusion grenades. Also, is going to increase the damage of our thrown hammers. Next is the Solar Victus, which we're using for restoration to heal ourselves, to add scorch to targets, and also to explode targets. So you're gonna see when I throw my hammer and kill a target, it's gonna create a sunspot, which I'm gonna run into it, and then for 5 seconds it's gonna give me Solar Victus, which is gonna apply restoration. And as long as that sunspot is on the ground, it's gonna reset my restoration for another 5 seconds. Also, if you're using the Hammer of Soul, you definitely got to use the Solar Victus. It's actually gonna make the greater effects of your Hammer of Soul just increase just dramatically. For our first fragment, we're going with Ember of Torches, which power melee attacks against combatants make you and nearby allies radiant. I really love using this because when you're radiant, your weapons deal increased damage to combatants. And remember, while you're radiant, your weapons pierce the shields of barrier champions and also stun them. Also, throwing your grenade and hammer also causes radiant as well, so this is a really good fragment to use. Also, make sure to use Ember of Empyrean, because solar weapon or ability final blows extend the duration of restoration and radiant effects applied to you. Also, Ember of Blistering is very good to use because defeating the target with your solar ignitions grant grenade energy. Not only is this going to help our solar grenade if we don't have it, it's also going to help us get Roaring Flames back again. If you look at the gameplay in my background, Roaring Flames I'm going to have almost instantly every single time. It's just going to be perking back to back to back to back. Like I said, this season that fragment is OP to use. It's really good. And we're going to use Ember of Ashes because it's going to apply more scorch stacks to target. It applies ignition and just allow targets just to explode everywhere and do massive splash damage just all over the place. For the artifact perks, first we're going with Kindling Trigger, which Radiant causes solar weapons to apply Scorch to unscorched combat, which that's going to cause ignitions and makes targets explode. Next, one of my favorite, Flint Striker, which rapid solar precision hits and rapid solar weapon final blows grants Radiant. This is real good to use with something like Polaris Lance because it's always going to make sure that you have health regeneration because you're constantly just hitting headshots because of the ease of use. Next, Heart of the Flame, causing your solar super grants nearby allies Radiant and increases the damage of your super for each nearby ally. Also, Wish into Being, while your super is fully charged, ability Final Blow spawns Orb of Power, and then when we pick up those Orb of Power, that's actually going to help with our grenade energy. Also, we're using Revitalizing Blast because causing damage with a solar ability weaken champions and bosses. Also, Razor Precision, while Radiant Solar Precision Final Blows cause combatants to ignite. Then Argent Ordnance, which is really good because it grants increased damage and reload speed to your rocket launchers, and we are using one. Here are my solar weapons. First is the Me AR2 Enhanced Incandescent for explosions. Also Dragon's Breath, which is great for doing DPS to bosses and also clearing ads. Then I'm using this Scatter Signal Fusion Rifle. Now the roll I'm using is a God roll for PvP. Now I would suggest crafting you one with Slice and also Control Burst for PvE. Those are really good God roll combination perks for doing damage and helping out with your abilities. But man, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm so low on resources, I just can't just change it right now. For the gameplay strat, everything is just centered around grenade energy, throwing your grenades, and using the Ashen Wake to enhance your grenade. And make sure you have mods that I'm going to show you in a few minutes to help you just have grenade energy constantly. Here's what you need to focus on for the armor stats. Number one, try to get 100 resilience because that's going to give you a 30% buff to your damage intake, and then also to help out with your barricade. Focus on 100 discipline so you can get that grenade energy back pretty fast, so that way we can take advantage of the Ashen Wake Gauntlet. I really wouldn't focus on recovery because we have a lot of restoration and cure done with this build, but then I will focus on intellect so we can get our super back as fast as possible. So try to get 100 on intellect. So let me quickly cover the mod so I can show you how we can maximize this build. So on the helmet, I'm going with Harmonic Siphon because rapid solar weapon final blows create orbs of power. Also hands-on, and I'm going double because it's going to help us gain bonus super energy on melee kill. And you're going to be using melee a lot on this build because it's going to apply restoration. So first I'm going with double impact induction because causing damage with our melee reduces our grenade cooldown. Then firepower because grenade final blows create orbs of power. On my chest, I'm simply using resistant mods to help reduce the incoming damage from combatants, and then I'm also using a solar mod to where I could get some more heavy ammo for my rocket launcher. For my legs, I'm going with recuperation because it replenishes my health each time I pick up an orb of power. Also innervation because it reduces my grenade cooldown each time I pick up an orb of power. Then solar weapon surge, which when I pick up an orb of power, it allows me to have increased damage on my solar weapons for 10 seconds and a stack. So if you could get 3 on there, that'll give you 30 seconds of increased damage. And on my Titan mark, I'm using time dilation. That's going to help the decay of my armor charge so it'll last longer. Also, I'm going with double bomber because it's going to reduce grenade cooldown when using my class ability. Here's the full build that I am using in today's video, but I will leave a dim link down below to the full build. And if you guys do like Destiny 2 build videos for Titans, Warlocks, and Hunters, I would suggest you watch this playlist next. Also, don't forget to like and sub. You guys have a blessed day. Peace.